Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be continuing on the build series for the Pajero, and it's time to put some speakers into it. So I'm pretty sure one of them, or maybe even two, are blown inside the car because it's not sounding like it should. So we might as well just upgrade it. So today we're going to be installing this ATOTO two-way speakers. Now this was provided by ATOTO, so I'm pretty excited to test them out, see what they like. And then for the rear, we just went with the cheapest set we could find, and it's the JVC ones. So essentially the ATOTO ones offer 60 watts RMS, so they'll be at the front, and the JVC one is 50 watt RMS. That's basically the power that it already puts out, right? So if you're gonna be running an amplifier through it, then it can go all the way up to 230 watts or 300 watts on the JVC, but continuous power, the ATOTO one is a bit stronger. So yeah, very excited to do that. And there's also a very cool trick that is very affordable that I'm gonna show you guys today. So let's get into it. All right, so here's the ATOTO speaker, guys. So we're gonna start with this one. Now, this probably happens a lot. So when you put a new speaker into the slot, you'll see that it's too small. So there's no way to bolt it down. All right, so essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and make it work. So we're gonna break out the speaker, but we're gonna reuse this frame. So basically what I'm going to do by the looks of it is I'll just have to use a grinder, just grind these arms loose so this magnet can go out, break off the speaker, that will come out easy. And then what we're going to do is take the new one and bolt it to this one. So essentially it's going to look like that. So there's still room to bolt it onto that one, and then once that is all good, you can just slide it in, put this cover back, and you can reuse the plug, or you can cut the plug and you can rewire it to the positive and the negative, but we'll see what we're going to do, whatever is easiest. But yeah, that's what we're going to try first. I mean, alternatively, you can probably buy spacers and that bolts onto this one and the spacer bolts onto that one there, but we obviously don't have that today. So we're gonna try and make it work. If not, we'll see what we're gonna do. But anyway, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we've now cut the hole. So this is what the old speaker looks like. So it's not too great. And in terms of size, the new ATOTO one is pretty big. So as you can see, there's a big difference. So yeah, I'm excited to see the sound difference for sure. All right, so what we're gonna be doing is we had to cut the positive and the negative wire. So I'm gonna try first to retain this plug, because then you just have to connect these two wires to the speaker and then the other one just plugs in. So it's nice and easy. So here's the new speaker. So essentially it's just gonna go straight into this hole. So make sure the terminals are at the top. Other way, sorry. Like that. All right, and there you go. So as you can see, it sits very well. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna connect the two connectors at the top, positive and negative, to that wire. We're just gonna use some solder. So that one, and a small blowtorch is great for soldering. I'll show you. We'll do that, and then we're obviously going to make a hole into this housing for the screws to go through, so the speaker sits nice and flush against the housing, and then yeah, go from there. Perfect. So as you can see, the positive and negative is welded together nicely, and then there was also these screws that were supplied with the ATOTO kit. If it's not in the kit, it's definitely worth getting them, because as you can see, it's nice and secure to the housing now, and it's just the 4 screws that we drilled into the plastic there. So yeah, Once that is all good to go, just make sure your connections are all good, and let's plug it in and see if there's sound coming through. Right, so before I forget, make sure you cut these with an angle grinder, the screws, just so it's nice and flush, because it's on the seal where it actually goes against the body. But yeah, moment of truth, let's have a look. Just gonna plug it in. All right, let's see if we have sound. All right, there we go. We have sound, guys. So perfect. So there you go. That is all good. It works. So now we just have to repeat the process for the other side, and then we'll get to the back. And then I'll show you the trick as well to get more sound from the car, or better sound without upgrading the speakers necessarily by itself. So I'll show you now. Okay, here's the secret ingredient, guys. Now this is super cheap, basically sound deadening. All right, so what you do is you just tape up your whole door, make sure everything is covered, obviously except the speaker, so just the sound comes through. Now if you're going to be doing this, it's what it is. It's sound deadening, right? So when you close the door, you're not going to hear so much road noise, that sort of stuff, and the sound will also sound a lot more clearer. I've actually done this in my previous Pajero, and I never showed you guys this, but it's a genius hack to get more and better sound quality. The difference is insane, so I'll put this on as well, and then after we'll have a listen and then just confirm if it's actually the case. But yeah, in the previous car, it was awesome. So this is basically just 2 meters by 50 centimeters, and it's 8 mil thick. I previously had 10 mil, which was a little bit too thick, so 8 mil I reckon should be good. And I also bought 3 rolls, so I'll put the link in the description for you guys to get it if you want. Let's try it out and go from there. Awesome, so there you go, guys. Just make sure you put all your screws back. So this one here, that one there, and then obviously this handle right here, and that should be it. The rest just clips in, but you can definitely feel there's a bit of a weight difference, but everything looks great. If there's a little bit of excess coming out on this side, just take a Stanley knife or something sharp and just cut it off. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it sounds like. But we're now going to do the other side, so I'll quickly do that, and then we can tackle the back and go from there. Awesome, so the front is all done, guys. As you can see, I'm on a new t-shirt. It's a new day. We're going to do the back now because we ran out of time yesterday. But essentially just the same thing. Take the panels off, and then we'll fit the JVC speakers and also do the sound deadening. So let's get into it. Cool, so the JVC one has the same problem. So when you bolt it to the door, it needs to go in the housing of the old speaker. So same scenario, you drill through the screws to hold the speaker to the housing, and just make sure you grind it off just so it doesn't come in the way when you bolt it to the door. So as you can see, it's now bolted to the door, nice and sturdy. So now same thing, we're just gonna run the sound deadener over. I also realized this handle's actually broken, so that is just great. So I'll need to get in here again and fix that up. So that is awesome. But anyway, let's put some sound deadener on and hear what it sounds like. Awesome, here we are a couple days later, guys. It's finally installed front and rear speakers with the sound deadening, so everything is now complete. And it's been a couple of days driving around setting the correct settings on the head unit as well to make sure the sound is as good as possible. So in terms of the speakers front and rear, you can't really hear a big difference between the old speakers and the new speakers. I mean, my ears are probably not as good to hear the difference, but in terms of the actual sound and the bass, you can definitely hear a lot more bass coming through from the speakers and from the sub, which is great. So now I'm gonna let you guys have a listen, and I'll show you on the head unit as well the settings that I'm using. So let's just get the music going a bit. Alright, awesome. So I want to show you here, when you go into your equalizer, so I'll just show you, you just go this one here, depending on what theme you have. But way on the left with the equalizer, you can see the ultra bass is set just above the 6 decibels. The reason for that is if you go too high, there's a lot of vibration coming through the subwoofer at the back if you have a Rockford system. The normal bass one is just under 6 decibels, the medium bass is just above 0, and the rest is also just above 0, just to boost the sound a little bit. In terms of surround sound, it's just full car mode. You want it from all the directions in the middle. In terms of the zone, I've turned up the sub gain to 14 and the frequency all the way up to 32. I'm not sure what that actually means, to be honest, but it sounds the best. And for the subs from the speakers itself, it's 80 Hertz and the sub gain is 6 instead of full. But yeah, this is what it sounds like. Alright, so hopefully you could hear what it sounds like. It definitely sounds a lot better now in the car. I love the bass coming through and everything sounds very clear. And now that I have 4 speakers working instead of 3, it's a lot better anyway. So hopefully you could hear what it actually sounds like through the microphone. I mean, it's not going to be the same as what it is in the car, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. So far I'm just glad all 4 speakers are working and it sounds great. So if you want to push it, you could always add an amplifier to the speakers and boost the bass, the sounds, all that sort of stuff. But that is essentially how I've got it set up. I know a lot of guys also want me to do the rear view camera on the head unit. That is coming soon, guys. Sorry, we've been so busy with moving out into the caravan, that sort of stuff, organizing everything. But it is coming soon, alright? So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.